When a beloved show ends for whatever reasons, fans are often far from satisfied. When The Office ended in 2013, fans were heartbroken. While The Office's ending is controversial, fans want to keep watching their favorite characters. And what's the solution to that? Reboots. Whether the fans want it or not, reboots are becoming more and more common. Reboots, or as I like to call them, the massacre of a show, consist of bringing the main characters back and continuing the show where it left off, or to jump in after the gap of time they've been off the air. Reboots are coming back for so many amazing shows that should have been left to rest, like Full House, Gossip Girl, Frasier, and the one that bothers me most, iCarly. The problem with the iCarly reboot is that it really is not necessary at all, and when it was announced, I was so confused. Why was it coming back? Is it finally going to be the reboot that perfectly continues the saga in an amazing way? Of course it's not. This should have been clear from the start because number one, only 3 out of the 5 original main cast are returning, and both Noah Monk and Jeanette McCurdy both have valid reasons to not return, but to try and remake a show without 2 important characters is an issue. But I still had hope that this show was going to be amazing. Now before I go any further, this is a spoiler warning for the iCarly reboot. I will be giving away plots from certain episodes, so if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. If you want to keep watching, be my guest, so let's get started. Now, I originally tried to upload this video with footage from the new iCarly, but Viacom does not actually want me to do that, so I can only show pictures and describe events in the show, so I'm sorry that I can't provide any footage. So yeah. Right off the bat, I really enjoyed seeing my characters again. Throughout the first 3 episodes, I was so excited to see the continuation of the show, but as the episodes go on, the illusion drops, and you realize, oh wait, this is just really low quality. During episode 4, you start to see how badly put together the show is. During those first 3 episodes, I was honestly blindsided by seeing some of my favorite characters again, but holy shit, the more you watch it, the more it unravels. Starting with the sets, oh my fucking god, they are bad. Skybooks looks so fake, it looks like a high school theater set. Then we move on to the Freddy hooker montage scenes. Now hold on, let me recap. In episode 4, Spencer hires a hooker for Freddy because he's lonely. Okay, moving on. These scenes are just green screen and tacky. Like, was this intentional? This wasn't in the original show at all. The next set problem is the massacre of the Shea apartment. Are you kidding me? This looks like that one Christmas episode where Spencer's a lawyer and it continues and he's a normal human. And he's marrying Mrs. Benson? It's dull, not fun like the original. Another reason it looks so dull is because of the lighting, and this is one of my biggest problems with the show. The lighting or color correcting or something, it's just not working. It's not bright like the original. It looks depressing, empty, and soulless. Look at these 2 shows side by side. It's very clear which one is more inviting. Another horrible thing is the laugh track. Yes, I get it, it was in the original show, but it gets so noticeable after you pass that episode 3 golden mark. If the actors can carry the comedy, we don't need it anymore. The next thing I want to focus on is the characters themselves. Spencer is still pretty good and should get more screen time. Him becoming rich through a political statement by accidentally melting a marshmallow White House is a really funny scenario, and I like it. Harper is an amazing addition, and I love her to death. She has become my new favorite character. Now, onto the bad. Freddy has lost everything going for him in the original show. He's not that techie anymore. He literally uses an iPhone and AirPods to shoot iCarly that one time. Freddy is a dad here, and what does he do the other half the time? I forget he's in the show. And the hair makes me want to cry. Millicent, Freddy's adopted daughter, I think, it's confusing, is the most irritating and does absolutely nothing in the show but surfaces Freddy's character. I think the writers went, we need a new mean person who's charming to replace Sam, except Millicent isn't charming, she's just annoying. She will never be a replacement to Sam. Now, I like Freddy and her's parenting moments, that's really good, but that only happens like 2 times. Last and least is Carly. She's the star of the show, but is still really dull. In the original show, she really had no personality and it carried over into this. Characters I enjoyed though were Principal Franklin and Duke. I really liked him coming back since the Chick episodes. My least favorite episode of the show is iRobot Wedding because of how absolutely dumb Neville's plan is. Neville tries to make Carly jealous by throwing a fake wedding and then tries to trick her into getting married to him. Like, what kind of a fucking plan is that? She can just say no. And I was really hoping Neville was gonna marry Man this time. I just don't know why his plan is so bad in the reboot. His plans were elaborate before. He was literally faking a whole contest just to try and get at iCarly. That's what I miss. Another really bad episode is the one that follows, Carly's birthday, and her birthday curse is a recurring gag from the original series, but a man literally dies in the apartment, and Spencer literally cares more about making Carly feel less cursed than a deceased man, so he hides the corpse in bubble wrap. A complete disregard for a dead man in his apartment. Although this disregard for death has always been an iCarly thing. Remember the pie episode? Yeah, when they took over a man's funeral. Now, a really big argument towards this show being bad is the fact that it brings new politically accurate ideas in play. But I completely love it. I love the diversity, the show really needed it. I love Harper being a bisexual furry. I love it all. The Wolf of Wall Street loving American Psycho Republicans hate that, but I much prefer it than the obvious racism involved with the original iCarly. Have you ever seen I Go to Japan and how it's entirely stereotypical and accurate, racist, and is based entirely around the American depictions of the post-World War II culture of Japan? And if you think, oh sir, that's only in that special, well no, you're wrong, because remember season 2 episode 16, I Make Sam Girlier? It features a horrible stereotype of black women being burly, big, and scaring white people. But I digress. The cutaway music is not nearly as good as this, and it bothers me so much. Now, my biggest problem with the show is the fact that it isn't about iCarly the web show, and it's barely about the internet. Although there were some original episodes of iCarly without the web show has only been shown one time in the first 6 episodes, and it feels nothing like the original. This show has disappointed me, and I thought when iCarly originally ended, it was a fitting end to a show that had been on a way too long time. Most of the shows in that sitcom Victorious iCarly, Drake and Josh realm ended after season 3 or 4, and it was for a good reason. Let me keep my fond memories. Maybe the conclusion to the reboot will save it, and maybe I will follow up when it's finished. I still love the original iCarly, but it should have stayed untouched.